across. Oh, he does it again. Should shoot and deliver. Oh, just remarkable.
This is Kim, head pilot of Balloon Aloft Canberra. It's one of the capital's top outdoor attractions, and the rides usually sell out way in advance. It's no wonder Kim hasn't told you about the spectacular views of the city's roundabouts. Oh, and the National Arboretum, the Brindabella Range, and Lake Burley Griffin. As he always says, didn't think I had to. I mean, how do you put this into words anyway? Canberra, there's more than they're telling us.
We don't do clickbait, fake news, or influencers. And you can keep your FOMO, cheap tricks, and propaganda. We want nationwide muscle.
Get that, India. Rise again.
Robust opinion.
It's on here.
The voice of sport.
No way. That is massive.
Anything else is just noise. Code Sports. No BS, just sport. Grab the app today.
Hello and welcome for the final time this season to the nation's capital. I'm Felix von Hoff, joined by Derek Rucker. Code Sports NBL Blitz action rounds out with the New Zealand Breakers taking on the Cairns Taipans. It has been a fantastic week in a state that I have newfound appreciation of, Derek, after going around seeing the sights. Some great basketball. The fans have come out here in absolute force. If this city, this town wants an NBL team, well, they have done themselves a massive favor this week in earning that in the near future.
I agree, and let's give a shout out to the players and the teams also who have done a great job in making this a very, very entertaining event. A lot of competition and a few upsets along the way, with Southeast Melbourne just doing a number on the Sydney Kings.
Well, they certainly have. At Southeast Melbourne, a lot of people saying, you know, where's their roster at in terms of their off-season recruitment? You commentated the game. John Brown III, I thought he was pretty impressive.
Totally changed the personality of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. The guy's rugged, he's rugged, he's better offensively than, you know, he may appear to be. As we look at the current point tally, you might want to take us through the combination. What happens here in this game?
Well, I'll simplify it for you.
Yeah.
If the New Zealand Breakers win this game, with the way the quarter scoring, the way if you actually win the game works, they will be crowned the Cal Bruton Cup champions.
Okay. So there's a lot riding on this one, and New Zealand Breakers, they're a very dangerous team in these one-off games because of the fact they have a superstar in Parker Jackson Cartwright. And Isaiah Brockington was good in game one. He's a guy who has a lot to prove, and I think New Zealand are dangerous in this game.
They certainly are. And I'll tell you the interesting thing for me, every time we've had an import during the Blitz come out and have a massive game in their first game, they haven't backed it up in the second. Can Isaiah Brockington buck the trend and finally put two good games together?
That's a very astute observation, and the Cairns Taipans will be without Admiral Schofield, so they'll get an opportunity to play some of their bench guys. And throughout this event also, Felix, that's been one of the shining things about the competition is we've seen some second stringers and some second units come out and play very well in the competition, and most notably the Adelaide 36ers.
Well, the Adelaide 36ers and Isaac White, he's been the one to step up for them. He's been fantastic throughout this tournament. You really want to see him have a breakout year, and he's had breakout moments, but to put together a full year, and geez, that's a hard roster to crack.
It is, and you know, the league is just so tough. Teams have done a great job with roster builds, increasing the depth, and consequently, the league is just very, very tough, and there's so much parity. You look at this New Zealand team, a team that's probably a bit unheralded at the moment, but they have some veterans, they have some guys who are hungry to show that they are legitimate players and realistically trying to secure their livelihood for a couple of more seasons, Felix.
Certainly, there's a lot of role players on this team that they need to perform if they want to be competitive this year. Now, Parker Jackson Cartwright, known commodity. We know how good he is. You labelled him. We push Bryce Cotton to the 2. He's the best point guard in the league. Are we agreeing on that?
We are agreeing on that, Felix.
Isaiah Brockington, what he proved in the first game and across a couple of their preseason games has been very, very impressive. But it's the Isaiah Liafa, the Tarangis, the Menengas that really need to perform for them, and then who knows how far they could go.
Well, the off-season push was to make this team more New Zealand in structure, more Kiwis, bringing athletes back to the islands to play for the Breakers. And doing that, Felix, it may have raised the pride in some of these guys and feeling like they really want to do a number and improve their play and performance and increase the pride throughout the organization. A very proud championship winning organization.
New Zealand were at their best when it was us versus them. You
Correct.
got Boucher, Vakona, these guys diving on the floor, aggressive. It was us versus them, and that's how I grew up watching the New Zealand Breakers. And Dylan Boucher and the new ownership, you can do nothing but commend them, because they are starting to bring that in more and more and more. And could win the Blitz, which is certainly a nice start. What about on the side of the Cairns Taipans, Jack McVeigh? We've all seen the articles. They've been labelled the $1 million man. When you are paid $1 million, Derek, you better perform. And there is pressure on your shoulders. When Jack was at Tasmania, he was at times a third-string offensive weapon. Now, he's gotten even better in his time in the NBA, but that's a lot of pressure on the young man's shoulders, especially an organisation like Cairns, who's been somewhat starved of success, and they've finally opened the wallet and said, now we're going to pay for it.
It is, and I like what you're saying there about the pressure. But having been in the NBA ecosystem for the past 12 months, I think Jack McVeigh is well primed for this role that he's about to take on with the Cairns Taipans. He's played against the best in the world. You looked at him in the first game, and he is a significantly better player, the way he moves, the way he's able to find space, and I think he is really going to thrive up in far North Queensland.
He's a big shot maker as well. He sent that game to overtime, which unfortunately for them they went down against Tasmania, but certainly didn't lose any fans in the process. The starters for the Breakers, Sam Menenga, Parker Jackson Cartwright, Ruben Tarangi, Isaiah Brockington, very impressive in his first game, Carlin Davidson, and for the Taipans, Marcus Lee, Sam Wardenberg, Alan Higgins-Tisha, Jack McVeigh as well. Marcus Lee, now he's another interesting one where, you know, he's bounced around the NBL, Tasmania, Melbourne, and now he's over there in Cairns, and from what he's telling me, he's loving it. He is absolutely loving it up there, checking out the reef, doing all of that sort of stuff. A happy Marcus Lee is a happy Cairns Taipan.
Well, he's a high character guy, low maintenance import, and Felix, we have seen over the past 2 years, when he's involved, he makes winning plays. He is a winning player, and he's won a championship and lost a championship in the past 2 seasons with Tasmania and Melbourne United respectively. But this is the man for the Taipans, Jack McVeigh. Shoots the ball well, great attitude, not afraid of the moment, and it looks like where he thrived in Tasmania at the 4 spot, it looks this season he'll be playing more of the 3.
Certainly does, and Wardenberg was so impressive in Puerto Rico. He's another guy. When you look up and down, every single roster this year has what you'd almost consider marquee guys. And we harp on about that, sound like a broken record, but the level of this competition is unbelievable. And Wardenberg, he was up on the stage in the All-Star 5 with Danilo Gallinari, a whole range of names, JaVale McGee. He was up there with him on that podium, so can he bring that level of basketball to the Taipans this year?
Well, if he does, they're a top 6 team, and he's got great offensive versatility. He can play in the paint. He can step out and shoot the 3. His athleticism is at a solid level. Just needs good health, and with better teammates around him, do not be surprised to see him really thrive this season for the Taipans.
Well, nobody has worked harder than you this weekend.
Thank you, Felix.
Derek, back-to-back games. Unbelievable, inspiring stuff. Can the players on court replicate any of your intensity? We're about to find out. PJC to get us underway. Works off the Menenga screen. Lena is no good. Higgins-Tisha will clean it up.
Tough matchup right away for Cody Statman having to guard Parker Jackson Cartwright. He did an admirable job on that first possession.
Nice hard drive by Higgins-Tisha. Can't finish. God, wasn't he a revelation for them last year?
Certainly was. High effort.
Brockington, pass almost gets broken up. Tarangi will draw the contact. Isaiah Brockington looking to buck the trend of imports this season that have come over and played a great first Blitz game and given us nothing in the next one.
He's strong with the basketball. Shot the ball well from the perimeter. Really elevates on his jump shot. When he gets to the bucket, he's good at creating contact and maintaining elevation.
PJC. Davidson, 8 seconds on the shot clock, gets it tipped away. 4 seconds. Jumper's no good. McVeigh will go away with it. Statman looking to work his way into the rotation last year, showed some good signs. 6 seconds on the shot clock. McVeigh finds Lee, nice little finish inside.
And for those not terribly familiar with the NBL, McVeigh and Lee were teammates on a championship-winning team down in Tasmania. But the Breakers come right back at you. Inexcusable to allow a layup opportunity on the other end after a made bucket, Felix. Brockington strong. And I think teams are going to have a lot of problems this season keeping him off that left hand. Strong in the upper body and plays with a level of I don't care that is frightening for defenders.
There's a certain, that level of I don't care is really good when you're good at basketball.
Right.
When you're not, it can become a little bit troublesome.
Yeah.
Rain Smith is probably the guy. He's not taking part in this game here. We'll see him pretty soon for the Taipans in the near future. But he's the one that I'm most excited about the guys that have come out of college.
Yeah, and that's a valid level of excitement and enthusiasm. And I got to spend a little bit of time with him in Las Vegas, but watched him play, and he's a lot better than I thought he was.
Statman, nice drive inside and a tough finish. What were you doing with him in Vegas? Just chatting away?
Yeah, we hanging out at an event, Felix.
PJC gets in, a little feathery floater.
And I can say with 100% certainty and clarity, there is no one in orange that can guard Parker Jackson Cartwright if he decides he just wants to take this game over.
The most unlikeliest of suspects is Parker Jackson Cartwright. We've seen short guys in the league. You've seen skinny guys in the league. Very rarely do you see them both in the one guy. If you're running a corporate event, Derek, and they say one of the New Zealand Breakers is going to come and attend your business, and PJC rolls in, it's amazing that this guy is so talented, yet the opposite of what you'd expect from a guy putting up the numbers that he does. He is a special, special player.
And an assassin.
Absolute killer mentality. Parker Jackson Cartwright. Statman from the car park. Cashes it. Right on the buzzer.
Well, that was impressive range from Cody Statman. Steps out with no concern for distance. Knocks down a deep three and McVeigh attacks.
McVeigh, tough move getting through the middle. Does a great job, Derek, of just keeping the ball away from the defender when he gets in that heavy traffic. Very rarely do you see him stripped.
He's got a great awareness of not only how to use his own body, but where all the other players are positioned on the floor.
McVeigh guarded by Bairstow. Wardenberg tries to thread the needle, gets broken up.
Now Wardenberg, if he's going to take his game to the next level, he must execute that pass. McVeigh and Lee had set it up perfectly.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Statman spins back, scoops. Can't finish, but Higgins Tisha will get blocked on the attempt. And Brockington's out.
This is where he's dangerous. He's nice.
Nice finish.
See how strong he is in the upper body with the basketball? I thought the defense was solid, but you can't penetrate his butt. What is going on here with Marcus Lee?
Marcus Lee trying to shake and bake in the point guard position. Don't knock until you try it. McVeigh at the low block gets the mismatch on PJC, who's going to cop another shot to the ribs. Now, he's got a history with rib injuries, and he looks to be in a fair amount of discomfort right now. We saw in game one, Kim Copper hit to that area as well as Menenga tries his luck from the nail and buries it.
It looks like Parker's feeling a little bit better, but ribs are such a sensitive area, and as you said, when there's not a lot of meat around them. Ooh.
Almost cops another one on the way through there from Statman. And you're right, there will not be enough meat around those ribs. And you hope that everything is all right for the star point guard, Parker Jackson Cartwright. Of course, those issues last year do not want to be inflaming anything this early into the preseason. Wardenberg left alone up top. Can't bury the deep two. McVeigh will come up with it. Higgins T-shirt trying to draw the contact. And it'll go the other way.
Higgins teacher, one of the guys that I'm sure Adam Ford really loves coaching. If Ford had the opportunity to create players out of a mold, Higgins teacher would be one of the examples.
Nice pass there to Bairstow, cutting down low.
Brockington's got a real nice bounce to him.
Higgins teacher again attacking the rack. That time gets the finish. And he was a guy that, you know, if he didn't get his opportunity through injury at Cairns, that we still may have not seen him that much. He's a perfect example of when you get your minutes, you take advantage of them. Tarangi. Bairstow loads one up from the corner, buries it.
His confidence has really improved from distance. He had a couple of threes in game one for the Breakers.
Galloway wants it on the low block, he'll get it. Guarded by Tarangi. It's a big body to try to move through, but when you can hook it like that, no issues.
Well, he's got that wide shoulder set up, so it's very hard to get tight. Meninga and Wardenberg going at it.
Brockington works, steps back, nails the jumper.
You see that elevation on the jumper? Not bad defense, but you just can't get up and contest that shot, and he's highly skilled.
Galloway, heavily contested three, he'll bury that. Kyron Galloway going to be a bit of an X factor for this team, you'd imagine. Derek?
Well, he showed promise in every season that he's played, but he just hasn't been able to. Nice move there from Tarangi. But Galloway needs to be able to extend the length of good play as Adam gets away with either being fouled or a travel. This is a physical game, Felix.
Well, as we've said in other games, the preseason for coaches might not be putting their usual rotations out there, but once these players are on the floor, there's very little difference.
Meninga gets caught up in the air, and Galloway does a really good job of absorbing the contact and finishing through it. Kyron Galloway, good size, 6'10", can stretch out and shoot the basketball. I think this season, Taipans will want to see more work on the glass. Should be a guy that gets a rebound every couple of minutes.
Both of these teams in such of that unknown category, where no one's really putting them in the top four, no one's really putting them in the bottom two. You just sort of, you don't know whether they're going to be able to make a run or whether they're going to sit stagnant.
Great analysis, and with that uncertainty comes opportunities for players. The coaches are trying to see who can make us a legitimate play-in contender or who can make us a legitimate top four type team.
One-point lead to the Breakers. A little under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Brockington has once again been impressive with 6. Adnan turns down the 3, gets into the paint, moves around, flicks it up, can't finish. Brett. Darling showed some great signs during the year last year. Can he break further into the rotation? Tarangi nails that one, and that right there, Derek Rucker, as the Cairns Taipans call timeout, is one of your biggest keys to the Breakers. You got PJC, you got Brockton, they're going to put points on the board. But it's guys like Ruben Tarangi that need to bring the best that we've seen from them in previous years if they want to be properly competitive.
And good action here. Liafa finds Tarangi on that little pocket pass outside the 3. And Tarangi's another guy, seemingly been in the NBL almost 15 years, but he's still in his 20s. has shown glimpses of being able to shoot the ball effectively from the three. And nice knockdown right there.
Big time shot in the NBL, taking on EuroLeague giants, September 18 to September 21 in Melbourne and Sydney. And this is going to be full strength rosters on both sides of the floor. Bryce Cotton, Dellavedova, Kendrick Davis, Kendrick Nunn. We've got double Kendrick going on there. And that Kendrick Nunn is impressive. If you haven't seen him play, don't follow too much EuroLeague basketball. He is one that is worth the price of admission.
High-level basketball, and we're so fortunate to have this level of basketball on display here in Australia. Great job by the powers that be at the NBL. I don't know who organized that, but they got it right.
They've brought NBA teams out.
Correct.
They've brought EuroLeague teams out. You know what's next? Bring the Philippines national team out. And let's get some revenge on home floor, Derek. You want entertainment? That is it. Lloyd McVeigh into the game. Statman working nice with the dribble. Galloway from the corner, he can't bury that. Lee will come up with it, fades away, fouled in the process.
I like how Statman puts that ball on the deck and attacks the paint. Good level of quickness. Handling that ball with his left hand, create a good shot opportunity for Galloway. There's some young players coming through and trying to make a name for themselves. I also like the backup point guard for New Zealand, Taylor Britt.
Yeah, he's been impressive. He was a guy coming in that, you know, I thought would maybe bounce around the back end of the bench, but I think he's going to find himself some proper minutes this year. The one unspoken thing about the Taipans as well, Derek, is the return of Adam Ford. You know, where does this all land if Adam Ford doesn't return? Are they starting from square one with another guy? Are they back into their usual rhythm?
Well, Felix, I know you're big on continuity, and you always talk about it, and that's what he brings. And you don't have to worry about style of play. You don't have to worry about what practices are going to look like.
Tarangi.
Give me that.
Nice move, can't finish, gets a block. McVeigh on the break, finds Adnam, he'll pull the trigger. Speak of continuity, when you look back in the history days of teams that went on these runs, these dynasties, it's all continuity. Sometimes we fall into the buy a championship mentality that the NBA has sort of started to create with the big three.
Rarely can you buy a championship in the NBL.
Pass almost too hot to handle. Tarangi will throw one up and Marcus Lee will clean it down.
And I thought, as you mentioned, I thought the acquisition or the retention of Adam Ford was one of the biggest offseason moves of the year.
Nice little pass from Adnam and throws it down.
You know, Marcus Lee, he's quite simple in his approach. He dunks, he blocks shots, and he protects the rim. He sets good screens. And while he wasn't able to retain his job with Melbourne United, he can leave there feeling good about himself, and he's landed in a perfect place for him. The Taipans appreciated his value, and I think he's going to have a very good season up in far north Queensland.
Well, he's a winner as well. He's been on teams that have made it to the championship series. This guy is a winner. And you said it earlier, he's no fuss. He's a fantastic teammate. You will not hear a bad word about him. And to have him in your organization, you're always going to be better for it. All tied up at 21 apiece here. 2 minutes remain in the first quarter. It's been an unbelievable CODE Sports NBL Blitz. Overtime games, tight finishes, new arrivals dominating. Bryce Cotton, unfortunately, wasn't able to participate in this one. Kendrick Davis, still so many superstars to come during the season proper. Cannot wait to crack into NBL overtime and moments that matter and all of the magazine shows where we can sit down and overreact, knee-jerk reactions to losses in the preseason.
Just having fun, breaking it down. New Zealand come out of the timeout, get into a side on ball.
Bairstow up top finds Liafa, steps back, turns down the jumper. Menenga will use his great footwork and get around. Can't finish, but he'll go to the line.
Menenga really hasn't had a lot of touches in this first period, so I'm sure he felt like, hey, I need to try and impact. And this was a bit rough, Felix, but he drew the foul nevertheless.
Sam Menenga, great footwork, and he's a different player when his shot is working from the outside as well. Converts the first. A win here for New Zealand will crown them the Bruton Loggins Cup champions. Liafa all over Statman in the backcourt. Statman will get it back. Throw it up. Can't finish, in the fight will end up with the Taipans retaining possession.
Very competitive first quarter. Defense is not terrible. Offenses are solid as Lloyd McVeigh gets an easy one on the baseline inbounds. Coaches hate that, to give up an easy bucket in that situation. Oh.
Might have got away with one there. Menenga gets the matchup on Lee, goes upstairs and almost baptizes Galloway. We have had some near misses upstairs throughout the blitz, Derek Rucker, and we get another one there.
You look at Sam Menenga and you see the bulk and the muscle, and you must understand that he's highly athletic as well, as he goes up and tries to yam it on Kyron Galloway. Draws the foul, goes the line to shoot two.
Can't convert the first as the adrenaline, I'm sure, is rushing through the veins.
Well, it's often hard, and people fail to understand that you really got to get your blood pressure down quickly, get the heart rate regulated, and go in there and knock down free throws. And unfortunately, Menenga misses both. Oh boy.
Under a minute remains in the first turn. Statman pulls the trigger. Shots off the back iron. Britt. Liafa, the early trigger. Cashes it. Liafa, another guy. We speak on Tarangi, knocking it down from the outside. If he can have his shot on this year, game changer.
Oh.
There's a chaos screen in the backcourt there.
That was reckless.
Always got to be careful. Running at speed into one of those. The refs making the right decision there.
I mean, we talk about unsportsmanlike fouls, and something like that should be tossed into that category as well. Just a blindside pick.
Certainly up there. Richardson with a bit of a reckless move, and probably luckily for both parties, was just a bit off center. Brett working on McVeigh up top. Gets it out. Bairstow turns down the three. Will step out of bounds for the second time this quarter.
Poor spacing there between Liafa and Bairstow. They both went to the corner, and they jammed that up. It should have been a kick out pass, and then Bairstow quick to Liafa for a three, but they didn't get the spacing right.
Shot clock is off. 20 seconds remain in the first term. Adnams guarded closely by Brett. Statman finds in the corner, drives baseline and goes up. The business decision by Davidson to leave the contest alone. And Statman caps off a strong quarter for himself with 7 points with a little bit of upstairs action.
Great way to close out this first half. Statman says, if you don't know, now you do.
And Davidson, he's as athletic as they come. And he said, no. We're on day 5. I'm not leaving here on a poster.
Very entertaining first half. Breakers up by 1. Both teams shooting it exceptionally well, in particular the Breakers, 60% from the field, 80% from the three-point line. Pretty clean. Only 3 turnovers in total assist-to-turnover ratio exceptional in that first quarter. And again, these teams continue to provide quality standard of play. Look at the scoring leaders, Kyron Galloway, 8 points, Brockington with 6, and Statman with that nice slam at the end took his tally to 7.
My man in the background here just struggling to make the free throw. He's just having a little bit of trouble from the charity stripe. Oh, my man. We've got to knock one down.
Well,
Jack McVeigh.
He's got a Kings jersey on, doesn't he?
What were your thoughts? You commentated that game. The Kings, they didn't have Kendrick Davis. How much do you read into their performances across the Blitz?
They didn't bring out the defensive intensity that Brian Goorjian is known for. And I know it's the preseason, but there are certain things that can't be compromised. And I didn't think the Kings came out ready to play basketball in this tournament. And both games, they gave up 100+ points.
Well, Brian Goorjian came ready to coach, because throughout the preseason, we've seen a lot of teams let their assistants coach. Maybe Josh King, he was sitting back a little bit more. Gorge was game 5 of the NBA Finals. Running up and down the sideline, probably rightly so. Adding them to get things underway in the second term. A 1-point lead to the Taipans, to the Breakers. Galloway. Pass is broken up by Davidson. Bairstow showed some great signs in game 1. Menenga finds Bairstow up top. Cash it.
I said it earlier in the first quarter. He has really worked on that 3-ball, shooting it well. He'll have plenty of opportunities during the regular season to catch and shoot.
Wardenberg gets it in again, gets the ground. Can't convert, he'll fade away, draw some contact in the process, it'll go unwhistled.
Brockington's a live body. Got a lot of pop.
Menenga hands all over him. Refs have just swallowed the whistle in this second term. Letting the guys play. Liafa steps back. That's no good. A bit of contact on the rebound. Lloyd McVeigh.
Bumped into Lloyd McVeigh with his brother Jack on day 1 at the hotel. And I asked Lloyd, can you check Jack? Can you guard your older brother? Very confidently said, of course. Not sure he was being honest.
Higgins Tisha works on Davison. Comes unstuck and the pass is broken up. Brockington out the other way. Too strong, too much body control.
Felix, that's what we mentioned. He just jumps up, elevates, gets into your body, knowing that he has the hang time and the strength to be able to finish as you're coming down. Isaiah Brockington.
He's tough, and a guy that was unheralded in the preseason outside of these 2 games. Remember, if you want no BS and just sport, stop listening to us. Go to Code Sports. You can grab the app today. It's all happening on there. They got all the stories behind the scenes, game recaps, you name it. Code Sports is bringing a new level of coverage to Australian and international basketball.
Downloaded the app 2 days ago. Didn't have it. Didn't know there was an app until I got here. Pretty handy.
Living on a rock, my man.
Yeah.
I've had the app for months. I got 2 apps.
You're locked into everything media-wise.
I am. I don't miss a beat. No, but I love any sort of coverage. And you look at one thing during the off-season, I think that we always look for the development of the NBL and the development of media, that there are so many different Instagram pages, X pages popping up of people that aren't involved in NBL media. They're not working for official outlets. They're just wanting to cover the game.
And that's great because, you know, the passion for the game, the enthusiasm, the willingness to spend your own disposable time to discuss our league and promote it, it all adds to the development and the growth of not only the game and the sport, but the media presence around it. And we all learn from other people's perspectives.
Fantastic, and the product that these players are putting on the court, especially from what we've seen across the Blitz, is going to make that all the more common. Statman hit one from out there earlier, turns it down this time, gets all the way into the rack. Nice little dump-off pass is going to be tipped away. And Brockington's out. Back into the paint. Higgins' t-shirt puts all the pressure on, but it's not enough.
Yo, this dude is doing some things out here that look high level, Felix.
Wardenberg turns down the three, finds Statman, who caught some hard contact on the way through.
Brockington, 10 points, hasn't missed a shot yet. A couple boards, assists, and steals in only 8 minutes.
Isaiah Brockington, you would have to imagine, is the leader for the Ray Borner medal if he can continue this up, because as I've said, people that have had a good first game haven't exactly come out and lit the world on fire in the second game. What we're seeing so far from Brockington, 10 points on the night.
Josh Bannon says hello.
Josh Bannon, Isaac White also right up there. There's a few options for Isaiah Brockington is staring down the barrel of a very, very strong start as he steps back here. Just as I say it, the commentator's curse, he decides to not even hit iron. Wardenberg buries it.
He's great in that situation. Trail threes. Knocks one down here for his first points of this game.
Menenga, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Tarangi, guarded by McVeigh. Gets into the paint, finishes and one.
McVeigh got caught out of his stance, brought his feet together, apologizes to his teammates. But once the defender's hips raise up, you can see there, Tarangi does a good job of getting low and then just elevates after drawing the contact. Finishes nicely off the glass. He's having a good contribution here, although he clangs that free throw.
Can't convert the extra. McVeigh looks to get revenge on the other end. Hard drive by Wardenberg and a soft touch.
Wanted the foul. May have been justified.
Lee Arthur works on Barker, gets the little leaner and cashes it.
That was a nice move as Tarangi and McVeigh are going at it away from the basketball. Wow.
McVeigh likes the matchup with Tarangi.
There's 3 fouls.
5 seconds on the shot clock. McVeigh guarded tightly. Pulls up, fouled in the process, and he'll go to the line for 3.
And Tarangi has to understand when he has already gotten away. There was a foul.
Jack McVeigh, very talented at contorting his body and getting into those positions to get fouled as well.
Well, that was only a 2-point attempt as we were a bit obstructed with our angle here and watching all the action that was going on above the shoulders.
As long as we don't have a 5-in, 5-out setup again where we got to go 6 possessions with no
so
view of the court.
Sorry, my apologies. It is 3 free throws.
I think I made a mistake there, Derek. It's been a fantastic week here in Canberra, Parliament House, the zoo, so many different things that you can do in this beautiful state. Plenty of people traveling for the games as well. It's been a massively successful week for both the NBL. As Brockington gets into the paint, gets that one thrown away. And Canberra and basketball ACT. Statman finds a gap in the middle. He'll get his teammate McVeigh on the outside. That'll be too short. And Brockington will chase it down.
I love how Statman finds gaps.
Davison marooned at the short corner. Tarangi likes this matchup with McVeigh. He gets the and one yet again.
Ruben Tarangi facing up, getting his hip square against Jack McVeigh, and again taking advantage. Hits him with a little veer move there. McVeigh, disgusted with himself, knows that's twice now he's been isolated against Tarangi with no answer, no resistance.
And this is the sort of stuff that Tarangi could do when he was recruited to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. This is sort of what they expected. He didn't quite get his best basketball in his time there, but if he could find it again with the breakers, McVeigh has the matchup with Liafa, the mismatch at the high post. Statman, baseline, steps back. Can't find the bottom of the bucket, but McVeigh will throw it up from the nail, and that one's way off. Higgins-Tisha to clean it up. Peteri Kaponen, head coach of the Breakers, vocal on the sidelines. Tarangi looks like he's going to get another chance here in a one-on-one situation with McVeigh. Sizes up, steps back. Buries the triple. Right now, Ruben Tarangi having his way with Jack McVeigh, the $1 Million Man.
13 points, and they've all been loud. And that's what you have to do against a top-line player. Attack him. No.
Lee with the mismatch down low. Good hands there by Liafa. Tarangi, can he go back-to-back?
Had a good look at it right in front of us.
Now,
just
Derek,
a little bit deep.
If I'm the Cairns Taipan and Jack McVeigh's our man, I'm getting the ball in his hands right now, and I'm saying don't be disrespected as Statman lays that one into the nice little finish. I'm saying go back at him.
Maybe next time, Felix.
Darling from the corner. Well, that's no good.
And here's a chance right here.
McVeigh turns down the matchup. Higgins-Tisha have the size advantage on Liafa. Well, that may be a size advantage in height, but that is a strong man.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Higgins-Tisha's game is quite there yet where you want to be putting it to him in that situation and trying to let him ISO. He's more working off of others. His move there should have been some type of grenade handoff back to McVeigh and allow McVeigh to do what he's paid handsomely for and make plays.
You would like to see just the ball in McVeigh's hands a little bit, especially going at him on the other end. Give him a chance to answer back.
And one.
Liafa's way off, but he gets fouled in the process. He will get a chance for 3 at the line. If you had to get NBL news,
yeah,
where would you go? Where would you go, Derek? What app would you use?
Well, historically, the NBL app. However, since the recent visit to the App Store, Felix, I would go to Code Sports. Where would you go?
I gave you an easy pitch there, and I thought you were about to mess it up. But you nailed it. I'd go straight to codesports.com.au or the app for all things NBL and basketball in general.
You got a lot of expert analysis, inside access, not only on the court, but off it as well.
The Breakers have pushed this out to a 9-point margin. Adnam left wide open. Can't complete that. Can the Breakers continue to push their lead out? The pass is broken up by Galloway.
And that was great action there from Tarangi. He went over to act as if he was going to set the screen on the wing. His defender committed, and then he cut towards the hoop. Nice purpose.
Admiral Schofield, the best named import, and an extremely talented one out of the game for the Taipans. What are your thoughts on him after game one? A lot of people were very impressed.
Well, I was one of those people because he showed me a lot. Inside, outside, his touch was a lot better than I had expected. You know, big, strong body.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Taylor Britt has the matchup with McVeigh. Gets to the middle. Nice crossover. Darling, the big body, the big Euro step, and the nice finish.
That crossover from Taylor Britt was wicked.
When are you going to release your top 15?
Funny you ask, Felix, because I've been given the assignment by
the powers that be.
Correct. So tonight when I get back to the room, that's a brick. I will
get your feelings known there.
I will get to work. So I should say it's incoming.
Pass tipped off by McVeigh of the Lloyd variety. Gets fouled on his way down. So you're gonna get up. As I almost fall off my chair, Christ. You're gonna get after it tonight. That's when you're gonna put everything together. Does it take you a couple of days to do, or do you just?
Oh no, it will take me all the way up until we record.
Always rustles a few feathers as well, especially with guys that are coming in. You know, if a second-year guy gets put behind a guy that hasn't quite played too much. Well, always some angry people online.
Yeah, and it's good to hear all the feedback, and but no, I will start to formulate, you know, kind of a top 40 and slim it down from there. Wardenberg can't knock it down.
Liafa turns down the three, tempted us with it. Bairstow off the Menenga screen, finds him on the pop. And Menenga just too big and too strong. The refs are letting that one roll through.
Right now, we've got to give New Zealand a lot of credit for the defensive effort.
McVeigh cashes the triple. It'll be a timeout for Petteri Koppen and the New Zealand Breakers, who have a healthy 10-point lead. A minute 50 to go in the second term.
And that was poor communication between Menenga and Liafa. They don't talk it up there. You can't leave McVeigh. And the lower man in that instance, Liafa, should have been communicating with Menenga to stay with McVeigh on the player exchange.
Any concerns for you with the way that the New Zealand Breakers appear to be targeting Jack McVeigh on the defensive end? I know that it's always a common thread in basketball where if a guy has a problem on the offensive end, you go through their chest on the defensive end.
Well, it's apparent they're getting him in ISO situations and exploiting Jack McVeigh. And one of the best ways to neutralize an outstanding player, especially one who does so many tremendous things on the offensive end, is to put him under pressure, start to try and erode his confidence in the moment. Perhaps you get him in foul trouble. You just try and unsettle that great player. And if you can unsettle the best player on the other team, it goes a long way towards putting another win on the board.
I think one of the things that people are going to have to remember during this season with the Taipans is that the Taipans lost a lot of close games last year.
They
now,
did.
Jack McVeigh isn't the type of guy that's going to come out and give you 30 points, 10 rebounds every night. But what he is going to do is when the game is close in the fourth quarter, he has proven time and time again that he is more reliable than arguably anyone else in the league. We already saw it against Tasmania when he sent the game to overtime. As Liafa finds Judd, he'll throw it up.
Coach Kaponen draws up a beautiful play after that timeout. Really sharp player movement, good ball movement. They got a wide open three there for Judd, just unable to knock it down. That's always a sign of a coach that's on top of things and has the attention of his players. They came out and executed it well. Problem with the shot clock, it's still stuck on 24, Felix.
Well, that is certainly problematic. While we have a little break in play, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Coaches right now coaching in just sweat tops and sweat shorts and all types of things. You've seen the photos of the old coaches in three-piece suits. Is it time we bring that back? Is it time we bring back the coaches in suits, Derek? Look at that. Hey, Adam Ford's a beautiful man. I love him dearly. But come on, man, get the suit on.
Well, I think one of the problems is being a summer sport, and especially say you're playing a game on a Saturday afternoon in Cairns, Felix. Do you want to be walking into the stadium in that blistering sun in a suit?
If this was, you know, the 1960s in Birmingham, non-air conditioning, non-insulated, I'd say, yeah, fine. But not in an air-conditioned arena.
Right. Well, there's certainly something to be said for the style factor, right? As Menenga shows his style, launching one from deep. No good.
Still a 10-point lead for the Breakers. Cairns Taipans will be looking to eat into it. McVeigh, Wardenberg up top. Adnam just comes up with a loose handoff. Gets away with the travel. McVeigh will get deep into the paint, can't complete the finish. Menenga have the chance on the break. Euro steps nicely all the way to the cup. Sam Menenga showing off some really, really nice footwork.
Well, really good push also, and set it up brilliantly. As Adnam is hassled down the court, Taipans will retain possession. Down 12, but great open court play there from Menenga.
Adnam finds Galloway. Nice little pass off the inbounds. He'll go to the line. Who are you, Darryl? I'll put you on the spot here again because I enjoy doing that because I know you're one of the most well-prepared and well-researched men in the media landscape. Who are you most concerned about? Now, it's not something that a team can't fix, but who are you most concerned about with what you've seen across 2 games of blitz action?
Right across the league. I thought last night's performance from Brisbane was a bit of an eyebrow raiser.
60 points?
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily just the fact that they only scored 60. It was the rapid drop-off. You know, they lost 34-4 in a quarter. And the fact that I believe a lot of their success is going to be based upon the availability of Tyrell Harrison. If you don't have him, they really become small quickly, and it puts a lot of pressure on other guys. And this year, Felix, it's going to be really tough to try and cover.
Certainly will. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Brockington steps back, gets to the middle, gets inside, draws a whole lot of contact that goes unwhistled.
And I'm not sure what's happened here because there's still 1.5 on the clock.
1.5 seconds on the clock. Looks like the Cairns Taipans will have one last chance to eat into this lead before the half.
The New Zealand bench was irate. They thought Brockington got hacked several times on the way to the cup.
I believe there's also an argument there. Shot clock violation. So 1.5 left on the clock. One last final heave here for the Taipans.
I think Galloway may have an advantage down the floor against Bairstow. Take one step toward the passer and then head towards the hoop. Let's see if Lloyd McVeigh opts for that or for his older brother.
And they'll go the easy option right into Kyle Adnam. He'll throw it up. It'll almost take out a baseline camera. And that'll wrap up the first half action. A 10-point lead to the New Zealand Breakers. Isaiah Brockington impressive. Tarangi was seeing red whenever Jack McVeigh got in front of him, was getting to the cup and one, hitting him from outside. And Kyron Galloway with the 10 points for the Cairns Taipans. What did you see? What did you like? What did you hate? What did you think? Derek Rucker.
The game had a regular season feel to it, and I thought New Zealand did a really good job on the defensive end. They've restricted the Taipans to 43% from the field, 33 from the three-point line. They've done a good job in looking after the basketball with only 3 turnovers, and they lost Parker Jackson Cartwright early in this game. They've done a good job on the offensive end despite not having their best player and floor leader out there at all in that first half, really.
Well, that's going to be the hardest thing for them because without PJC on the floor, there's not a huge amount of backup. Now, Taylor Britt has come out and been impressive, but when we talk season proper, coming up against other imports, it's probably not going to be where you're going every single time, but luckily for them, Isaiah Brockington has once again been impressive.
Well, the old adage is true. If you can play solid defense, you can keep yourself in the game and give yourself an opportunity to win, and that's what they've done here. They've done a really good job in restricting Jack McVeigh's opportunities. He hasn't had many great looks, and they've done a really good job, you know, just playing team basketball and being good with their ball security. And that's why they have a 10-point lead going into the halftime break.
It's a 10-point lead to the New Zealand Breakers as the tug of war about to kick off here at the halftime.
You love this.
I absolutely love it. Stats graphic is taken away from us yet again, almost criminal. But the crowd here, the Canberra crowd, has been fantastic at getting into every single activation. They've sold out every single game. If this is a litmus test for whether NBL can come to this city, Derek, they've passed with flying colours. And well, this one's a bit too far of a dominant affair from what we've seen. Not even close. 21 rebounds for the Taipans. Any concerns there on the boards?
No, not really. I don't think this is one of those games where that really factors into it. You know, the Taipans have 6 offensive rebounds. The Breakers, oddly enough, have none. But I think the tempo has been to the Breakers' liking. And when you're shooting it at 58% from the field, you give yourself a really good chance to win this basketball game. And they're right there. They're knocking on the door of winning the Code Sports NBL Blitz.
What are your thoughts on Jack McVay's usage in
They
that
got-
first quarter,
Well,
first half?
He's got 2 points. He's only played, he's got 6 points. He's only played 14. No, he's played pretty good minutes, almost 15. I'm just not sure that they totally have an idea of how to best utilize him. And people think about the three-point shooting and the shots that he makes from the perimeter, but Jack McVay is also good in the paint and post-up opportunities and off-the-block face-ups, and perhaps they need to look at trying to incorporate him into those situations a bit more also.
I think that's a surprising one for me. We haven't seen that classic 2-dribble step
Right.
back that he's become so proficient at. We're going to get ready to preview the second half. Not far away.
Fall in love with Hungry Jack's new Jack's Fried Chicken Southern Style Tenders. Crispy, juicy, 100% Aussie chicken that will have you craving more and more. Now at Hungry Jack's.
Cooper! 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 Enough screams! Time to go outside! Cooper, are you gaming again?
Build your dream lifestyle with Dream Courts. Custom professional and in-home sports courts Australia-wide.
This is Kim, head pilot of Balloon Aloft Canberra, one of the city's top outdoor attractions. It's no wonder Kim hasn't told you about it, as he always says, didn't think I had to. Canberra, there's more than they're telling us.
Ziggy, no! Ziggy! That's it, we're going to the shop. Sausage roll?
Got 4 left.
New Mitsubishi Outlander. It's a bit rock and roll.
This is Kim, head pilot of Balloon Aloft Canberra, one of the city's top outdoor attractions. It's no wonder Kim hasn't told you about it, as he always says, didn't think I had to. Canberra, there's more than they're telling us.
We are at the National Zoo and Aquarium at the Jamala Wildlife Lodge, and we are ready to go inside, Derek, and handle what I've been told is some small, friendly marsupials.
No, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the big cat.
The big cat solo, baby. Davidson Wildcat. Let's head inside. Look at this. It's just a nice, natural patch. Just like a dog. We've just wrapped up an unbelievable experience at Jamala Wildlife Lodge here at the National Zoo and Aquarium. What did you think of Solo?
Solo was fantastic. So calm, but you know the power is there, the strength and the beauty. I've never seen eyes like that. Kind of like looking into your eyes. You fall in love.
Unbelievable National Zoo and Aquarium. We're going to go and check out the giraffes because I need to find something with a longer neck than mine. It's unbelievable. Make sure you get out of here if you're ever in Canberra.
And you know what? The lodge itself is beautiful. I want to come back here for a stay. There's a lot more here than just the animals. Come check it out.
The cheetah.
That was memorable, man. That was a great time. Thank you to everyone at Jamala Wildlife Lodge. That was terrific.
I still remember him saying, if it makes a sudden move, make sure you move away. If that thing makes a sudden move, we're both out of the building. You'll never hear from us again. Unbelievable. Jamala Wildlife Lodge. You can get a room where the tigers just sleep right on the outside of the glass. It's unbelievable. If you're an animal lover, you got to make your way down there and have a night there. It's absolutely fantastic. Back to the game here. It's a 10-point lead to the New Zealand Breakers. The Taipans just struggling a little bit. The Breakers, if they can get this done, they'll be the champions of the Blitz.
They will be, and I think they're looking really good right now. The defense is clicking. The offense is solid enough. I would like to get an update on Parker Jackson Cartwright. I'm sure that's probably of a bigger concern to them than actually winning this game. But, you know, the team structure from New Zealand on the offensive end looks really solid. And when you see structure, it gives you a real opportunity to play consistent basketball over the course of the NBL season. The NBL season is riddled with ups and downs and speed bumps. We know that, but it's the teams that can fight through, find a proper identity, and stick to it as much as possible.
I know they say winning doesn't matter. It's not about the wins and losses in the preseason, but you want to chalk up the wins. What do the Cairns Taipans need to do in this second half if they want to get back into the game?
Just free up and play basketball. I talked to Coach Adam Ford after the first game, and they haven't had a lot of time really to put in sets and concepts. They're still learning each other, and I think that's evident in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if he just kind of instructed his guys to go out and play, don't overthink it, and let's try and get ourselves back into this basketball game, go back to Cairns and really lock in over the next couple of weeks and get ready for round 1 of NBL 26. Wow, let's bring 26 already. It's going to be tremendous.
It is not far away, and it is strange having the Blitz a little bit earlier this year than when we'd usually have it. Usually we have the Blitz and then it's 5-6 days and the season starts, but all of these teams will have a little bit of time to get their stars healthy and be ready to go when the season proper kicks off. Second half, not far away.
Floriade, Australia's biggest celebration of spring, returns to Commonwealth Park in Canberra from September 13 to October 12, 2025. Marvel at 1 million beautiful blooms as you dive into nature's laboratory with this year's theme, Science and Nature. Explore Floriade's dark side at Nightfest with vibrant illuminations and entertainment from October 2 to 5. Visit FloriadeAustralia.com. Proudly presented by All Homes and produced by the ACT Government.
Oh, they've got a player, but
We don't do clickbait, fake news, or influencers. And you can keep your FOMO, cheap tricks, and propaganda. We want nationwide muscle.
Get that, India! Rise again!
Robust opinion.
It's on here!
The voice of sport.
No way! That is massive!
Anything else is just noise. Code Sports. No BS, just sport. Grab the app today.
Hoops Fest, a basketball extravaganza like nothing this country has ever seen before.
Great destination to watch NBL basketball, WNBL. We've got it all.
It's a basketball bonanza here in Perth.
All eyes of the world are on Perth at the moment. Hoop Fest is such a great success for us.
welcome back to the nation's capital. The fans are fiery and ready to go. They want basketball back in this city. And the way that they've come out in droves and performed this week, God, I hope it happens sooner rather than later. Derek, and the chance to meet so many Canberra Cannons legends throughout this week that, I'm only 30 years old. I didn't exactly get to experience the glory days of the Canberra Cannons, but man, there is basketball life in this city.
There certainly is, and the Canberra Cannons are one of the foundation clubs of the National Basketball League. Tremendous history, and this venue has seen a lot of great moments. And there's a real energy about it. When you go into certain places and they feel clinical, they don't feel like a good basketball venue. Well, this is a true basketball venue, and you feel the energy. And look at the jack jumpers. Oh, just sitting here watching this one tightly.
Look at the jack jumpers, but look who's chasing. Remember the points scoring for winning a quarter, and you get points for winning the game as well. So the Breakers, they win this game. And sorry, Jackies, but you're moving down to second place because the New Zealand Breakers will be your Loggins Bruton Cup champions of the CODE Sports Blitz.
Let's see if these Taipans can come out right away.
Spoil the party.
Get into this lead.
Remember, especially with some of these superstars out there, guys like Kyron Galloway, Kyle Abner, Lloyd McVeigh to an even lesser extent, that are going to be fighting for rotation minutes, and this is where you put yourself on the line. Training's training. The coaches want to see people perform. when push comes to shove, and that is right now. Admiral Schofield, superstar import for the Taipans, not taking place in this one. He was incredibly impressive in game one, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Isaiah Brockington doing some real damage on the other end, along with Ruben Tarangi, 13 points and 10 points.
And the Taipans in the second half will go with Admin, the McVeigh boys, Galloway and Wardenberg. And the Breakers will go with Brockington, Britt, Davison, Menenga, and Tarangi.
Parker Jackson Cartwright still on the bench after sustaining what looked like a little rib injury. Nothing of concern, there's no ice on him at all. But you'd probably expect the Breakers to play it safe with their superstar import in this second half final game of the Blitz. Brett goes hard on Adnam, can't finish. Adnam, push it the other way. McVeigh. Adnam, nice scoop finish.
Good action there from the Taipans. McVeigh does a good job of creating a little advantage for Adnam, and Adnam really takes advantage.
He's only been in the league 100 years, Derek. We'll get there.
Oh, boy. Game 7 of the Blitz for me.
He's done a remarkable effort. So is Sam Menenga, who hits one, and he gives it back to the Cairns bench.
Got something to say.
A little bit of chirping from the big fella. Having himself a very strong game at the moment, 12 points. Galloway will try his luck from the top. And Brockington. And if he gets the rebound, he just pushes.
The pace, Felix.
Menenga, can he go back to back? He was getting ready to turn right around and give it another chop. Nothing better than a little preseason trash talk.
Well, some things you have to take personally, Felix.
Pulls up, can't complete the jumper.
And
an errant rebound will result in the Taipans getting another crack at it. So just confirming it is PJC with a rib injury. Now, no major concerns. Heard from the Breakers, it doesn't seem overly painful for him at the moment. It's on the other side than the injury was last year, so at least that's another positive sign for the Breakers. Looks to be PJC being okay. Brett, nice pass to Brockington, who goes upstairs on the head of Lloyd McVeigh. Oh, Isaiah Brockington working his way to the Ray Borner Medal of the player of the CODE Sports Blitz. A foul on the other end will result in free throws for Kyle Adnam. Oh, Derek, we've had that many near misses.
Great job on the penetration, and Brockington says, "It's my way, McVeigh. Take this on the dome."
Tell you what, it's been a tough one for the McVeigh family. They've been going through the chest to Jack McVeigh, and then they dunk on the brother on the other end. If I'm Jack McVeigh right now, I'm getting on the court, and I am going downhill. Someone has to pay for that.
Right now, the Breakers continue to do a good job defensively against the Taipans. Just not allowing them to play with any freedom on the offensive end. Taipans only 4 of 13 from the three, 31%.
Brockington works off the screen. Breakers struggling to come up with much on this possession. Tarangi gets on the inside, can't finish under pressure. Wardenberg gets through, goes up. The verticality.
Really?
From Menenga. Looked to be a little bit of contact, might have gotten away with some there.
Wardenberg slow getting back.
And Leafa left way too open. Can't make him pay.
Menenga's just throwing his body around, just causing all types of physical problems for the Taipans.
Mismatch on the block for Wardenberg. Fountain, he'll go to the line. Bairstow checking into the game for the Breakers.
And I like how the Breakers are approaching things on the defensive end. They're putting pressure on the referees to make calls with their physical play. And as long as you can adjust throughout the course of a season and in game, that's not a bad strategy to have on the defensive end. We've seen teams traditionally have success playing that way. Coming with a mindset to be real handsy, super physical, showing hard on screens. Wardenberg knocks down the second. And then if the game is called closely, Felix, you adjust.
9-point lead to the New Zealand Breakers. Derek, I asked you earlier who you were most disappointed with. It's time to flip this and get positive. Who were you most impressed with? And it can be a range of impressed. Who did you think maybe was not going to be anywhere near as good as they are? Who did you expect to be good? But who are you leaving here with a different opinion of than what you came in a positive manner?
I really like what I saw from Melbourne United, and it's not just the margin of victory that they displayed last night. It's the depth from 1 down to 12 on that roster. They have size, they have quickness, they have clutch players in Milton Doyle and Chris Golding. They have defensive presence, defensive excellence in Shea Illy.
9 seconds on the shot clock. The Taipans in all sorts of trouble. Brockington potentially in more trouble the other way as he gets out in the break, but it's blocked by Lee. Galloway.
And I like what Adelaide's second string did. It could have been easy for them to come in here and say, oh, we don't have our guys. No Bryce, no Trez. Let's just go through the motions. Coach doesn't really care about it, you know? But they came out and they did their thing.
Breakdown on defense for the Taipans. Leaves Tarangi wide open at the nail.
Do they start engraving the Loggins Bruton Cup? We don't.
I can hear a slight buzz from behind me, and I think that might be the engraver's pen already working away. The Breakers, a lot of people didn't know where to put them, but it looks like they've nailed their imports. Higgins Tisha with a tough drive on the alpha. Brockington looking incredible. Looks like he'll most likely, in my opinion, take home the Ray Borner medal as the player of the Blitz.
We still have, the Breakers still have a piece to add.
We'll see Rob Baker still to come back into this group. What are your thoughts on him, pedigree?
Well, you know, it's interesting, right? Because we often don't know what type or how impactful you need a player to be until you get out here and play games in this environment.
Tell you what we haven't seen, and there was a period where it was happening as a timeout for the Cairns Taipans, is leaving that third import slot open until you know what you need. So you play the preseason, you maybe even play the first 5-6 games of the season, and you see, okay, where are we deficient? What do we need? And you go and fill that gap. I know Melbourne sort of went with that approach for a couple of seasons.
It's risky now, Felix. I think with the parity throughout the league, you drop a couple of games, and then you drop a couple of more, and you find yourself in a real uncomfortable position. And that's how quickly this league has evolved. And you're right, that was a certain strategy. But that strategy was based on the fact that Melbourne United were loaded with Australian talent, so that's probably a big piece of it as well. You have to ensure that your local talent can heavily impact winning.
The positive sign for a lot of these teams is, I don't think I've seen an import across the Blitz so far. Sometimes you can say, hey, this guy's going to be on a plane home pretty soon. I don't think there's a single guy where you can say, hey, that's not going to work for this team. And it's not usually a blight on the player. It's just situationally, it doesn't work for them at this club. Some guys get cut from the NBL, they go over and play in Europe, and they have fantastic careers. So it's not a blight on the player, but there's no one this year where I've thought they fundamentally do not fit in that system.
Yeah, they've all shown signs that they can help a team be better. And, you know, does the fit continue to be good as we get into the main course?
Statman probes baseline, finds Lee on the block, guarded by Darling. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Draws the contact.
And I think Marcus Lee is probably going to be featured a lot more with his back to the basket, as we saw right here on this last play. Darling's got to be better defensively. There's no need to hack down on Lee's elbows, although sending him to the line is not a bad idea either. Marcus has traditionally struggled with his free throw shooting.
He's been on a lot of teams with very reputable and talented bigs, so when you look up and down this Taipans roster, he's the man in the middle. Rockington finds Learfa. Nice little skip pass there to Bairstow, who's impressed me as he fades away there. Can't complete it there, but Bairstow's impressed me. Derek, I don't know about you. Lee with the mismatch on the block. Galloway from the nail.
Well, the thing about Bairstow is he can actually play point guard for you as well. And you see he does a good job away from the ball. He's not taking up space on the floor. He's not overly demanding of the basketball, and we've already seen him knock down a couple of deep ones. You have a look at the Taipans bench. I think they have thoughts of 30-degree weather on their minds.
They certainly do. The Taipans with a bit of money in the pocket is a dangerous concept because it is a beautiful part of the world to live. And the issues in the past have been that they just can't open the checkbook to the same level as some of the bigger clubs, but they have forked out money this year to get some big names, and namely that of Jack McVeigh.
That's correct, Felix, and trust me, any other NBL teams watching this game right now are not thinking, oh, whoa, the Taipans, because they are going to be heard from in NBL 26. They still have their point guard to come in. And then there will be a complete deck of cards.
And I think that's what will open the game up a lot more for Jack McVeigh as well.
I like what I see with Statman.
Learfa turns straight into it and nails it.
He's been good. 11 points, 4 dimes in 17 minutes.
Just couldn't find his shooting stroke in Sydney, but getting back into this Breakers organisation, we know how much emphasis they're putting on getting local talent as Statman nails it through. Such an emphasis, as Dylan Boucher mentioned on a previous broadcast, that they are putting emphasis into local talent. And that's what the fans have wanted for a long time. So many talented Kiwi basketballers playing in this country and abroad.
Speaking of Parker Jackson Cartwright, once New Zealand finish here, I think they travel back to New Zealand for a bit, and then they've got some games in Japan.
The frequent flyer miles for a Breakers player. I would love to see Tom Abercrombie's frequent flyer miles. Davison, Bairstow, who's been aggressive attack on the rack all night. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pass is tipped off. Higgins-Tisha on the break. Pushes off. Gets away with it. He'll go to the line. Petteri Koponen had a perfect angle on that one, and so did the official by the looks of it.
As did you, and you called it early. This extends the left forearm. Right there.
That's a tough result. The strip looked to be clean as well. Zaya Learfa got a pretty good temperament on him because he didn't get too frustrated with the call. Converts the first.
Taipans. See if they can put some resistance in to their defense over the balance of this third quarter and get this lead down to 6 or 7, Felix.
Britt get past Statman in the backcourt. Darling. Learfa turns down the shot this time, finds Darling instead. He can't convert it, and Lee will pull it down. And Lee getting pressured in the backcourt.
Where are his
assuming
guards?
The point guard duties.
Where are his guards?
the backcourt violation.
Statman, you've got to come back and help him out. Higgins-Tisha, you've got to come back and help him out. You can't leave the big fella out there.
I'll tell you what that looks like to me. I spent a lot of time watching wildlife videos. You know, in the big old giraffes getting chased by the lions. They're climbing up the legs. One jumps on the back and gets to the neck. You've got to get your guys to come back and help you out. Liafa. Lee makes the smart decision that time. Gets it to Wardenberg.
And you can see when you don't have a true point guard, how chaotic your offense can look at times. McVeigh fouled on that three-point attempt.
Tell what I'd love to see from Jack McVeigh here. Put the head down and try to take over the game. You're the highest paid player on the roster. You've got the ability. We know how good you can be. We've seen you do it at levels above this. Put the head down and show this team that when we get into trouble, you can trust me just like teams have in the past.
Well, he's now got 7 points on 25% shooting. Hasn't really been able to get free on the offensive end. But sometimes...
Just the 1 for 4 from the field. Not enough looks. I know it's preseason, but you got to get in your rhythm, and he's a guy that needs to be putting up at this stage of the game easily double-figure attempts. And he's not a selfish guy by nature, and that's going to be a bit of a teething process as he learns to become the man on the team. And you've been the man on a lot of teams that you've played on. He's got to get that Derek Rucker mentality.
Well, Derek Rucker never got to the NBA, so I'm just going to be a little bit cautious, but I understand what you mean about going after yours and understanding when being too selfless is actually unselfish.
Yeah.
Is actually selfish. You need to go out there and make plays for your teammates and help them try and win.
He's got the talent.
He does. And Kansas, they're sneaking back. They got it within 10.
I'll tell you what, that engraver's pen, it's just stop buzzing.
They need to
behind me.
Need a little bit of luck here. If Darling could clang 1 or 2 of these.
That's the way you get paid to do what you do, Derek. One for 2 at the stripe. A little over 2 minutes remaining in the third term. Still plenty of daylight left for the Cairns Taipans to spoil the party for the Breakers. McVeigh. Lee guarded closely by Darling. We'll find Statman up the top, who's going to work with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Lee turns and fades, can't complete it, but Higgins tee-shot, just as he did all last year, will clean up the mess.
Good shot clock patience there from Lloyd McVeigh to get that ball into Marcus Lee, who got a decent shot up and led to the offensive rebound. Taipans hanging around, Felix.
Don't ride off the Snakes. 8-point lead to the Breakers. Plenty of basketball left to play. Final game of the CODE Sports Blitz. It's been an unbelievable week at AIS Arena in Canberra. The city was hungry for basketball. The NBL has delivered. Davison goes upstairs and flushes it. Unchallenged at the rim. Impressive stuff from Carlin Davison. Statman gets that one partially blocked. I'll tell you what, I don't know where the guys don't want to end up on a poster in preseason before the whole show's begun, but nobody wanted to bar it out in the paint.
Great athleticism. We've seen him throw some down in limited minutes last season with the Breakers, but he's got real pop, real live legs.
He is an athletic kid, is Menenga. Can't bury it from the nail. A couple of highlight plays throughout this game. The last blitz action, 10-point lead for the Breakers. As the Taipans will go the length of the floor. Connects the first.
Doing a good job on the glass. Higgins Titsha. 7 rebounds, 12 points.
Tarangi. Bryce Davison, can he put more pressure on the rim? Brockington, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets the match up with Galloway, steps back, draws the contact, 4-point play. He'll go to the line to complete it.
Tremendous elevation on his jump shot. And he danced and danced with it. Fouled on the three. Galloway really.
Just got to be so careful in today's game.
Galloway
Any slight contact.
Yeah, Galloway wasn't able to stay with him, and Higgins-Tishler tried to come over. In the process, fouled him while he was knocking down the three. That's a big play.
12-point lead to the Breakers. Statman pressured up top. Wardenberg turns down the three. Tries to find Galloway, but the pass a little hot to handle.
If he had another look at that one, I think Sam Wardenberg would elect to have pulled the trigger on that three ball.
Under a minute remains in the third term. Defensive foul there. Just trying to push the opposition. One of the oldest tricks in the book, Derek. Try to bait them into an offensive foul, but the refs will not be fooled.
Turned into a bit of a parade to the free throw line over this third quarter. Both teams doing a good job of converting from the line. And Sean Bairstow was set to come back into the lineup. Coach Kopp says hold off.
And Coach Kopp might have just looked up at the clock and seen that there is 45 seconds remaining in the term. No need to make any drastic changes at this point, especially with a 13-point lead.
Now he's
reconsidered. Higgins-Tishler will make his way to the line.
So right here, traditionally with 40 seconds on the clock, it's perfect 2-for-1 time. I noticed in Las Vegas at the Summer League, they were getting 3-for-2. And it's kind of a new trend now where teams are pushing it super fast here, knowing that the other team will come back at you, then you go back at them.
Because you're going to bait them to get there. 2-for-1. Certainly makes sense. It's a data-driven sport these days. As Tarangi gets it blocked by Statman. Wow. And it's going to be whistled off the offensive player.
Tarangi did a good job on the catch of getting into the gap. Was a little bit indecisive on how to finish.
Great verticality and clean with the hands on the defensive end from Statman. He's going to get it here. He sizes up Menenga. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Spins back. Finds Lloyd McVeigh on the outside. He can't finish that. They'll wrestle for it. Tarangi will come up with it with 5 on the clock. Liafa, open look. Brockington comes through and finishes. What a finish to the half there. Just as the Cairns Taipans were starting to slither their way back into the game. The New Zealand Breakers break their back. And they're out to a 15-point lead.
And the Breakers do a great job of withstanding that run from the Taipans. Much better performance in that quarter from the Snakes, but still, look at New Zealand. Strong stats. 52% from the field, 43 from the three. And even though the Taipans were better offensively in that quarter, still below par. Subpar shooting the basketball. Rebounding. Only 22 rebounds for the Breakers.
It's remarkable. It's one of the stats that usually you can tell who's winning the game by the rebound count. When you have it that lopsided, 22-34 the way of the Taipans, it's a pretty impressive 14-point lead.
And Tarangi having a great game, 20 points. Brockington's got 18, and Menenga with 12. And I think, you know, the Breakers would feel good about the way that their offense is being executed without Parker Jackson Cartwright on the floor. Only 4 turnovers. A lot of credit goes to Isaiah Liafa, Taylor Britt, doing a good job of keeping the Breakers into their offensive structure.
Rob Lowe still to come into this lineup for the Breakers. Interesting to see his continued fight against Father Time. I'll tell you, Derek, someone who Father Time stands no chance against. It's arguably the NBL GOAT. The most liked man around this arena. Cal Bruton, the man who the trophy is named after. Welcome in, my man.
Thank you very much,
Everywhere we go. Doesn't matter whether it's in the Gold Coast, doesn't matter whether it's in Canberra. You are a celebrity around these buildings, and you're taking photos with more people than I've ever seen before. It's more every time I see you.
46 years to do that to you. Haven't been involved in the game since the start of NBL, and obviously having the opportunity to travel the country and meet all the young kids and develop the game from the coaching aspect and the playing. And now I'll get a chance to appreciate watching my young sons continue to play, and we won another championship today. So
Congratulations. And I mean, there's so many Brutons now. You've got a stable or 2 of Brutons.
Well,
they're all over the venue.
Well, there's 5 boys, well, 6 boys when you count my grandson, Rio.
Correct.
And then we have my one daughter and my one granddaughter. But they all love the game. And as you know, it's been a tremendous pathway for young kids coming through, and they can intertwine with all the community. And we feel it's a...
Well, Cal, you told me you've been here now in Canberra for 26 years.
Yes.
And for the better part of your stint here, this city has been without an NBL team.
True. And, I say it, and I'll say it over and over again and preach it, that in 2003, we had a team that I believe could have won it. And we got shut down in December 2003 and 2002, I should say, and shut us down for a month. And then we had to go through all the business side to get it back up. But we lost all our imports, and finished the season, near the end. And then, of course, the team left and went to Newcastle. But I do believe that particular team, and Canada's had some championships on their belt.
Yeah.
As I sit here, I look straight across the road, see my man Herb McKeechin. Him and I were the first 2 playing against each other in the first year, 1979. And Cameron went on to play in the grand final that year. So it's nice to be back here now in the arena, seeing all the fans want to come out and get involved and hopefully pump another team back here in the capital.
Well, what are the selling points, Cal, for a team back here in Canberra?
I think the selling points is strictly that you got to have a team in the capital. And particularly since you have a base here with the Young Center of Excellence, with all the up-and-coming kids from around the country coming here to develop their game and represent Australia. Well, it used to be at that point where those kids actually came into the Canberra Cannons.
Yeah.
And that kind of built the foundation of their success. Phil Smythe was one of the coaches at the AIS back then. So I believe that now we have another opportunity. We need more teams because simply there's so many players being developed with nowhere to play.
Well, you look out here at the moment, we've got guys coming out that aren't going to see a huge amount of burn in the regular season just due to the players that are ahead of them. But they're more than capable of being out there.
I'm seeing new faces all the time, and obviously the import status is coming up another notch too. But you're seeing the local kids having real opportunities of developing their game and coming up against top-class imports. And now what we need is develop our coaches to continue to get opportunities. And that's where right now, we're just a step behind. But I think the best is yet to come.
What's interesting, you say coaches there, because we were speaking the other day about, you know, we don't only have players going over to the NBA. You look at Jacob Chance, former Melbourne United assistant, was going to be the assistant this year for Melbourne United. Now he's gone over to the Austin Spurs. So the coaching pathways, we're starting to take over that country.
I like your optimism.
What do you mentioned the import standard and the import quality. What do you think, especially of what you've seen in the early going here as Davidson goes upstairs? We talk about guys being good enough to play and not having the opportunity. That's one right there.
I agree 100.
Lee's just come up a little bit proppy behind play here. We know he's had a couple of troubles with the lower extremities in the past, and we hope nothing too serious there for Marcus Lee. Looks to be walking unimpeded for the most part, but sorry to interrupt you there with a little bit of injury news. I was getting my newsreader on.
Well, we got guys like even PJC, I think he might have a rib problem, so I love his game.
Yeah.
He's quicker than a hanging judge's verdict.
Who's your favorite across the imports that you've seen so far? Who's the one guy you look at and he reminds you maybe a bit of you back in the day?
Well, for me, I'm only 5'7" with my shoes off. So I'm always favoring the little fellas. When D-Ruck came out and I brought Ricky Grace out, I heard the news. I like Tiger Campbell.
I do too.
He's special, unselfish to the T, but also so quick, savvy, and when it's time to take over, and no one's standing in front of him.
Very different haircuts.
Oh, shoot. I used to have a little fro back in the day, but I didn't have the Bob Marley like him. He's straight up Bob Marley, but he's exciting to watch.
Who have you got out of the team so far? Who's the team that you got pinned as the championship hopeful?
That's a great question. Melbourne United, obviously, looking really solid. Tassie, I like them this year. With those 3 imports that they brought in and what they put around them, the island, they ain't selling no more tickets. This is going to be a closed shop.
Well, you look at, aside from those 2 teams, the Perth Wildcats are going to be threatening when they get JLA, Doolittle, and then the point guard, whomever that is going to be, they're going to be tough. And we know, of course, with Cotton and the monster coming back for Adelaide, and
they look good. They look good, but at the same time, you can almost have too much riches. And I'm looking at the way Michael Harris played yesterday.
Yes.
And I'm saying, like, boy, woo. Now, what time are you going to get?
Flynn Cameron?
Flynn Cameron looked nice, too, and he's strong. We don't have too many 6'5" guards, PGs. He's going to the hole.
He didn't want the 3 ball, surprising.
Marcus, such a proficient shooter from the outside, opted to go inside that time to no avail.
So, yeah, there's a lot of talent, a lot of talented teams, too. But right now, if New Zealand wins this, they get the cup.
That's it.
And Tasmania, if they don't. So it looks like they're not trying to let that happen.
It's looking, we could hear the engraver's pen going on behind us, Cal.
Well, I think this game coming into it, I just had a feeling, Cal, that it meant more to New Zealand to win this basketball game.
Well, simply because they went all the way live, bringing all the boys back home and going New Zealand. Now you got a whole country sort of really enjoying what they see. And for mine, my son CJ played for New Zealand, won 3 straight championships. I think now they got appetite. They brought back the original owner, Blackwell's, come back in, involved. They were tremendous owners to establish the game in New Zealand. And now New Zealand's got a lot of pride on the line when they, want to represent in Australian basketball, particularly when they have to go against each other in the, the cups and representing the region. So, no, it's going to be a great season, I believe. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I got my popcorn ready already.
Oh, it's going to be an exciting NBL26. It's not far away at all. What about what some of these guys are getting paid these days, Cal? We've got $1 million dudes running around the league now.
When I got here in 1979, Doc Atkins, who was the guy who recruited D-Ruck and myself, he said, yo, you got $400 a week. And I said, what? I can't come no $400. I got a family to feed. He said, well, I'll fill your fridge with breakfast every day. So I ate breakfast 3 times a day. and you know what? It was the best thing that ever happened in my life. You know, the opportunity to come to Australia. I became a director of coaching my following year because Geelong offered me a contract to bring my family and bring 2 of my mates to join me. So, you know, I went straight to New York, got my homeboy, I call him Slobber Dog, because all he did was talk smack. And
I can understand why you guys are good friends.
There you go. Oh, he kept me juiced up. You know, he made sure, yo, they can't stop you, Cal. They can't stop you, bro. You go. But Steve Kalisinski was another my college teammate. You know, he was a Polish guy, big, strong, in center. But the funniest thing is that back then, you know, you obviously like now too, you weren't allowed to wear jewelry, but he had a cross bolted on his neck. And the referees before the first game told me, here, take that off. And what he did, he said, well, no, I can't take it off. It's been soldered to my neck, so you got to send me home. And I had to go in the locker room and say, no, Steve, you can't leave, not now. It's the first game of the season. He said, Cal, I can't take my cross off. I got the faith. So then I came up with the genius idea of just tape up his neck.
Oh.
So I put the tape around his neck 5 times, and he looked like Frankenstein because he was like you just bolted his head on his neck. But yeah, he helped us get the game established in Geelong. Of course, we were in the National League in 2 years, and we went straight to the grand final. So now the game has grown so much since then.
Oh, certainly has. Darling just bullies his way through the middle. A little scare on the wrist there, but he's all right. Cal, we thank you for joining us, man. You only have to be in this stadium for 5 minutes to see the impact that you have on this community, whether it be over in the Gold Coast, here, anywhere you go, man. You've got an unbelievable legacy.
Nothing but love for the game, you know.
Nothing but love for you.
I had to dig it down, so I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for having
Cal.
me.
Cal Bruton, one of the great inspirations for all small guards. I remember when I first arrived in Brisbane, Brian Curl said, here's some video, watch Cal Bruton. And not only was he a great player, but went on to lead Perth to its inaugural championship in 1990. And just someone who continues, whether it's through his children, his grandchildren, just continues to impact Australian basketball in a positive manner. Cal Bruton, one of the greats.
Oh, man.
Adam's layup is sent swinging by Davison. His second upstairs highlight of the game.
I appreciate you guys, and you're doing a fantastic job, both of you, of bringing it live and in color like no other. So, y'all those cool soul brothers.
I want to get that on a shirt.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you, Cal. Oh, man, that is one cool individual. And I just love seeing him and a couple of his boys rolling around this arena. Yeah. Everyone coming up, man. Good attitude, energy, positivity. That's a special guy right there.
Yeah, when I came over here as a young player, even though he was an opposing coach, he always gave me good words of advice and helped me become a very, very
4 seconds
mature professional early.
Britt gets into the paint. He'll find Darling on the outside. Salt in the wounds. The New Zealand Breakers, Derek, are going to win the Bruton Logan Cup, and you'd imagine Isaiah Brockington as well is going to walk home with the Ray Borner medal, something that I think not a lot of people would have expected out of this tournament. Even though it's a long time before the season, a lot of guys without their main imports, the Breakers have come to play.
You're right, and I think anyone who predicted the New Zealand Isaiah Brockington double is very deserving of some special attention, because this is one I don't think either of us saw happening.
Certainly not. Certainly not.
Full credit to them.
But it is great to see new ownership. Dylan Belcher, Director of Basketball Operations. They are bringing the New Zealand back into the Breakers, and they're off to a hot start, taking out the preseason tournament. Higgins' teacher will come up with the poorly timed jump, but he'll still get it. That's athleticism for you. Statman, he's been able to show a bit of his wares throughout this tournament. McVeigh, hard into the paint, he'll draw the foul. Under 2 minutes remain. 22-point lead for the Breakers.
Yeah. New Zealand have just been consistent throughout the ball game on both ends of the floor.
Even scoring as well, 20 for Tarangi, Brockington with 18, Menenga 18, 12 for Bairstow, and Leafa chipping in 11.
And in the second half, they've really stymied the Taipans. In this fourth quarter, Cairns have found it extremely difficult to get good looks and to put up the requisite number of points to try and get back in this basketball game.
Liga into the game. Bairstow steps back. And Davison, nice little up and under pass. And Liga will get his first bucket. And the bench getting up and about for him, just like he has been for them.
Great
it's always
to see.
good when you get to the end of the game. Some of the guys that don't see a huge amount of minutes get in and you get the starters cheering for them. It's exactly what you want to see from a team that's trying to bring in culture. The Breakers, you couldn't speak more highly of them and how they've come into this blitz. Brett, hard on the drive, soft finish is no good. Lockie Barker kicks it out. McVeigh tries his luck from outside. That one's off.
The human pogo stick.
He is athletic. Can he work his way to the paint there? He can pass as well. Liga for his second bucket. Can't convert it. Statman works on Davison. Galloway gives it back and says, go to work, son. Pulls up the contested three and cashes it. Statman, 15 points on the night. He's been impressive for the Taipans across the tournament.
I agree. He can leave this place with a lot of confidence and probably with an expectation of solid minutes.
A big NBL one season from him with the Marlins as well. Looks to have him primed to hopefully get some rotation minutes for the Snakes.
Ooh.
Davison just tries to kill someone in the front row. That'd be an awful way to end the tournament. That'd be quite the downer on what's been a fantastic event.
Final possession of this blitz.
7 seconds to go. Barker will dribble it out. The New Zealand Breakers, champions of the NBL preseason. All thanks to Code Sports. An unexpected, but a well-deserved result.
You're not wrong. I kind of felt that the Breakers had more to play for. And even with the early loss of Parker Jackson Cartwright in the first quarter, they stuck to the game plan, were solid on the defensive end, and really cut off the Cairns Taipans on the offensive end. In particular, they did a very good job on Jack McVeigh, never allowed him to get into this basketball game, and they were just consistent on the offensive end, racking up 94 points. As we look at that points tally, Felix.
Ooh, New Zealand Breakers 13. A dominant performance, and tell you what, something we didn't expect is you avert your eyes towards the bottom of that list. The Sydney Kings looking to make amends for last year when people came out and said they had the whole season wrapped up.
Well, they've got some work to do.
Without Kendrick Davis, we may add to that, but the Kings a little bit of work to do. The Breakers, a dominant blitz performance.
Look, I think most teams will return to their respective homes with a pretty good feeling about what transpired here at the Blitz for them. Enough success, enough progress, and enough teaching points to really lock in on over the next couple of weeks.
Still plenty of time to go until we get to the season proper. Imports still yet to arrive. Plenty left to go. So you mentioned who were you most disappointed with, Derek? As we just end on a real negative.
I was just...
No, and when I say disappointed, it's more who was someone you thought, maybe that's not going to work in that way that you thought it would.
No, I feel that the Sydney Kings should have been a bit further along, especially on the defensive end, than what they displayed here.
There's one thing that the Sydney Kings love, especially Andrew Bogut and ownership in Paul Smith. They love the us versus them mentality. So they will relish in any negative talk about the Kings this year, and they will stick it up on the wall, and they'll use it as motivation, because Sydney, they love to be doubted, and they love to answer back, and I'm sure they'll be doing just that.
The reality is they are a very good team, and there are no weak teams in this competition. And I think this is the strongest across the board season that the NBL will have ever seen. There are no easy beats. And as a few teams have found out here at the Blitz, you just got to come ready. You got to bring it. You got to be locked in. Coaches have to game plan properly. Players have to go out there and play hard and execute. And that's the only way you're going to win enough games to qualify for the postseason.
We mentioned before that the imports have been across the board successful. There's no one where you're thinking, hey, you're on a plane home in the next couple of days, which in previous seasons, that's become apparent. There is no easy wins.
Yeah, well, over the past couple of blitzes, we have seen players sent home. And I don't think that will be the case here. In fact, we've got imports to come. So the strength of the competition is going to increase.
Well, it's time for the presentation of the Longans Bruton Cup.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here at the 2025 CODE Sports NBL Blitz in Canberra. It's been so good to have the NBL back in Canberra. 10 games, 5 days, and it's all led to this moment. But first things first, we need to award our MVP and recipient of the Ray Borner Medal. I've got basketball legend Cal Bruton here to do the honours. So please give it up for, from the New Zealand Breakers, Isaiah Brockington. Congratulations, Isaiah. Well done. And now to present the Longans Bruton Cup, the winners of the 2025 CODE Sports NBL Blitz. Give it up for the New Zealand Breakers.
Thank you, Canberra. Thank you, NBL. Thank you, Basketball ACT, and all the teams in the NBL coming here today. I'm participating for the week in this competition. Very proud that we hosted this in Canberra, because as you know, we're trying to bring an NBL team back here again. So you guys really voted with your feet, so give yourselves a round of applause, because you made it look good. I'd like to, on behalf of Leroy Loggins and myself, but I also like to recognize one of the first imports to play here in Canberra, won 3 championships. Him and I were inducted into the Hall of Fame. At the same time, could you please recognize Herb McKeechin, the Canberra Cannons. So, no further ado, this is a heavy trophy. I'm trying to put it down and hand it over. But congratulations, New Zealand Breakers. I got a partial feeling there because my son, CJ Bruton, was a part of the New Zealand Breakers when they won 3 straight national championships. So congratulations, Breakers. You dudes got it going on. You look good. All right. PJC, do your thing. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give it up one more time for our winners.
fantastic achievement for the New Zealand Breakers. I'm sure a big night at Mooseheads to come to celebrate winning the NBL CODE Sports Blitz. Derek, it's been an absolutely fantastic week in Canberra. We've done activities off the court. We've had 5 games. You've had about 12. But basketball is alive and well in this city.
It was a fantastic several days, and this event is probably the best one that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of them. And congratulations to the New Zealand Breakers, to the city of Canberra, and to the NBL for organizing a fantastic event. And we saw a lot of promise, a little bit of disappointment, but teams can come away from here feeling like they've really got a lot done and know what they need to lock in on to get ready for tip-off of NBL 26.
Still imports to come. Teams to get another 2 solid weeks of proper preseason training in. What we saw here was just the appetizer. And I, Derek Rucker, am full and satiated. I cannot wait until I clear my stomach and get ready for the mains.
I hear you, but NBL 26 promises to be just an amazing experience. And even though we have a feeling who the good teams are, we never know until they really get out there and have a go.
Expect the unexpected. Thank you everyone who's tuned in across on Disney Plus, KO Sports, across the CODE Sports NBL Blitz. Thank you to all the amazing sponsors and the people behind the scenes that have made this happen. It's always tough to get these things up and running, and it takes an absolute army, and everybody has done a fantastic job throughout it. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you for the season proper not far away.